About 5 years ago, as the executive director of United Way, we were approached by law enforcement, social service agencies in the community to look at a federal program called Weed and Seed, and it's funded by the Department of Justice. And we secured funding for a grant for that in a footprint of our community. The police identified the area of Fairview Manor, the movie theater, the library, down Call Street, all the way down to Wilbur Street, so on First Avenue and back up Airport Road. And the whole idea behind Weed and Seed is neighborhood revitalization and communities taking back communities. And so with the federal funding, a dedicated police officer has been assigned to that area. And then a huge component of Weed and Seed is community policing, neighborhood watch, and getting the services that we have in our community into that specific area. We held lots of neighborhood meetings, and what we learned from the neighborhoods, the folks in that area, was that a lot of our young people are just hanging out, and they go from Ryan to Lathrop to Godshock's, then maybe to the bowling alley and to the library. We learned that a lot of our baseball fields have been vandalized, and it just seemed to keep coming back over and over and over, that it seemed like our young people needed something to do. So part of that Weed and Seed and that neighborhood revitalization is providing a safe haven to kids in that neighborhood, but it really is a neighbor to neighbor, getting people engaged in what's happening in their neighborhood. And when you look at that footprint, it's a really interesting part of our community because there's really old homes, and then there's new developments there, and there's folks that rent out their homes that no longer live here, but they rent them out. So we think that when we come to the end of our 5 years with this program, we're going to see a lot of big success when it comes to lower crime, and a lot more folks happy with their neighborhood and people engaged with their neighborhood. So it's a really exciting project, and we're hopeful that this will be our first opportunity, and then we'll throw that into other neighborhoods in our community. Thanks.
When it comes to our neighborhoods, the infrastructure of the city is paramount, and that would have a lot to do with drainage on roads, etc., and well done. If I am correct, when neighborhoods want things like sidewalks or lighting, they actually bond for that. In a neighborhood, I believe I'm correct, they can be asked to bond for that additional cost. And I know that we need a lot of work on the sidewalks. I take a walk from my shop and I walk up to City Hall, and I'm walking up these huge curbs that are hard for me to get up and down on. And I think that's important. I think that we have strong neighborhoods in our downtown area. I've been to some zoning meetings at the borough, and people are willing to rally. And part of the Vision Fairbanks is to get neighborhood input. No one is going to take eminent domain and take anyone's home out of the downtown area. It is to encourage and link our neighborhoods to the downtown businesses. That is part of that plan. And how do you do that? Well, for one, Cowles is one of my little pet things. You have that neighborhood, I live on that side of Cowles, toward the Carlson Center. Well, you know, you can let your kid go across Cowles. I mean, Cowles is heavily traveled, and it's fast moving. One of the solutions may be to kind of link that back, instead of it being like a delineation between the downtown and that other half of the neighborhood that's on the other side of Cowles. You put in stop signs to slow the traffic and crosswalks. So we're not talking in these plans to disregard our neighborhoods, certainly not. And the grant money for policing is awesome. I know that Chief Hoffman has spent a lot of time and gotten grants, and he's brought on officers that get in a position where they actually pay for themselves in what they're doing. So we have a lot of opportunity. We're not forgetting. I will not forget about the neighborhoods. I love our neighborhoods. That is, you know, people say what makes Alaska or Fairbanks special. It's the people that live here, that are downtown, are regulars, your shop